here, Alex Shakar is a Brooklyn native who now lives in Chicago. He's the author of The Savage Girl, City in Love, and most recently, Luminarium, which won this year's LA Times Book Prize for Fiction. Please welcome Alex Shakar.
Well, that was so absolutely impossible to follow.
Yeah, my apologies.
No, it's a relief, actually. I'm gonna read from Luminarium, which is my most recent novel, and can you lower this just a little bit? I'm gonna jump pretty far into the novel and maybe just set a couple things up. So not too much you have to know, just a couple of things. One, things aren't going so well for our hero Fred. His fiancée has left him. His twin brother George lies dying in a cancer-induced coma. The company the two of them have created has been stolen and eaten by a military contracting conglomerate in Orlando. And a scientific study that he's entered is having all kinds of crazy effects on his life. This week, with their electromagnetic helmet, they gave him a near-death experience, and he went into the light, or very close, and he hasn't quite come back out. And now, to make matters worse, he's in Orlando. He swallowed his pride and tried to get back into his former company, and things didn't go too well. So he went back to his hotel room and drained his minibar. Then his godfather, Manfred, showed up. And now Manny is an old actor and still aspiring filmmaker working the theme park circuit in Orlando. And Fred's heard from his father that Manny just got back from a Zen monastery where he said he got enlightened. And now Manny has dragged Fred out, saying they'd go downtown for a drink. So here we are. They were veering off an exit, no large buildings in sight. I thought we were going downtown. Yeah, no, not the real one. There's a better one here. Manny swung them through a gate of the Universal Studios theme park and onto a featureless service road outside a park wall. Streetlights illuminated the van's interior every few seconds. Tan vinyl upholstery hung in shreds from the door panels. The glove compartment was missing, as were the window cranks, a pair of small vice grips taking their place. The interior was clean, however, and the equipment in back, what looked like a pair of set lights and a director's chair, lay folded and held fast to the wall by straps. Manny noticed Fred looking in back. You want to be in a movie? Absolutely. I'll put you in one. I've got a whole new angle after the monastery. Ken Show pictures, website and everything. Every flick guaranteed to bring about sudden enlightenment. The van plunged into a multi-level parking structure, and Manfred steered them up some ramps. The ripped upholstery flapped on the doors as they disembarked. Fred's door wouldn't quite close. He pushed on it, staggered, nearly fell over. The garage spun. Manfred stepped around and, by lifting it slightly, forced the door into place. Got into the police auction. They took it apart looking for drugs. Didn't quite get it all back together. When Manny had said downtown, Fred had been envisioning a gloomy, empty dive on a dead-end street, a venue a bit more conducive to dissolving in a pool of despair than a heavily populated theme park. With little choice now, he followed his godfather into an enclosed skyway and onto a people mover, synth-inflected pop music pulsing from the speakers above. Matter of fact, Manny leaned against the moving handrail as a track trundled them along, producing from his fishing vest pocket a small video camera. This might make a good scene too, you never know. He flipped it open at chest level, peering down at the screen as one might a poker hand, a lens aimed at Fred. What's my motivation? Fred grumbled, increasingly uncomfortable. Your choice, Manny nodded. If I could go back in time, I would have recorded my whole life. Who would watch it? No one. There was a light in Manny's eyes as he said this, charged yet lucid, which, more than the words themselves, made Fred wonder. The walkway ended. Manny led them through a concession area into the park's transgenic hybrid of urban downtown and outdoor mall. They made a slow loop around the carefully orchestrated chaos of lights and music, taking in the NASCAR and NBA restaurants, the Hard Rock Cafe, the fountain around which people sat gaping up at music videos on giant screens, the endangered species store. That's a real place, isn't it? We could have been there. The Bob Marley A Tribute to Freedom nightclub, that's the saddest one. The person-sized Spider-Man, Betty Boop, and Shaggy from Scooby-Doo cutouts. And out across the water, the company's emblem, Universal, and the globe around which it wrapped, transformed from a mere image to a physical thing, as gigantic as ever it appeared on any screen. Manny remained uncharacteristically silent during these few minutes, gazing around serenely. "So I've heard you attained nirvana, or something," Fred mumbled. "Attained, non-attainment," Manny answered, gaze keen. "So what's that mean exactly?" "It means beyond attachment, Freddie. Beyond the vicious cycle of desire and aversion." He wheeled an arm back at the artificial river, ahead of the plaza. "Beyond the slum of human reality, it means free, Freddie, just free." That half-amazed, half-amused expression might have been a remnant of shock treatment, might have been Stanislavski in immersion, might have been the actual experience of something approaching that freedom of which he spoke. It occurred to Fred he'd never met an enlightened person that he was aware of. He didn't have much basis for comparison. "At least, I think so," Manny said. "None of those monks over there spoke very good English. We communicated mainly by slaps." "Hey, Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville. Let's go there. They've got good fries." Manny picked out 2 free stools at the bar under a massive sale and ordered his fries. Fred ordered a margarita from the 50-gallon blender-shaped plastic tank over the register. As the drink was being prepared, Manny positioned the video camera, which, for all Fred knew, had never been turned off, on the bar between them, propping its front end up with a stack of folded napkins so that it pointed at Fred's face. The irritation this caused him was so small a drop in the ocean of his misery that it didn't seem worth fighting. He asked for another margarita before picking up and draining the first. Only after he did so did he realize he'd just spent his last $10. Turning his wallet upside down, he shook the bill out onto the bar. There'd be no choice now but to give in to the hospital's continual calls for George to be moved to a long-term care facility, self-storage for the not quite dead, and even there, the fees would be staggering. "So enlightenment, how does it happen?" he asked. Maybe he just wanted to punish himself. Instantly, Manny slammed his palm on the bar's copper surface. Fred started, his fluorescent yellow drink slopping onto his shirt. "Like that," Manny said. "It's a shock. Then, eventually, they transfer the Buddha mind seal to you." He made a gesture with clutched fingers in front of Fred's eyes, resembling, more than anything, the Vulcan mind meld. "But to start, you've got to penetrate the mu." He gave Fred a significant look. Behind him, on a projection screen, Jimmy Buffett himself sang into a mic and strummed a guitar. Higher up toward the ceiling, the propellers of a suspended seaplane spun with a hypnagogic slowness. "The mu?" Fred asked. The monk Joshu was telling his disciples how Buddha nature was present in all things. One of his disciples asked, "Is it also to be found in a dog?" And Joshu replied, "Mu." Fred waited for more. Manny, however, was already elsewhere, picking up his camera and zooming in with a phallically extending lens on a table of women under a thatched umbrella. "Tits, tits, tits," he said, then, turning back to Fred, "It's very simple. This isn't real." For an unearthly moment, they stared at each other. It almost made sense, Fred thought. How could this crass, shimmering place, how could any of this be real? "It's not real," Manny added. Fred was still nodding, trying to understand. Manny continued, staring into him, judging his readiness. "It's not both real and not real," he said. Fred chased the words, fighting the despair. Manny tick-tocked his finger. "It's not neither not real nor not real." Just tell me why life sucks so much, Fred said. Manny fixed him with that peculiar eye light. What are you talking about? This is the Pure Land. Hey! He spread his arms wide. Paradise. The flashing gelled lights positioned above the bar reflected off Manfred's bald head, now red, now yellow, now blue. You guys are incredible, Manny went on. A year ago, George asked me the same thing. He did? Same fucking words, just about. Manny, why does life suck so much? Manny, why can't I get what I want? Why couldn't he, Fred said, dizzy from the alcohol and lights, nearly slipping off his stool. Why can't I? So change what you want. Who can want failure, Fred shouted. Who can want misery? So stop wanting. How can I stop wanting? So stop being. What do you mean, kill myself? Whoa, said the bartender, a sunburned guy with a gold necklace and open Hawaiian shirt, as he set Manfred's fries in the bar. No suicide in Margaritaville. Wasting away only. It's in the charter. No self, no problem, Manfred said, with a placid smile. Is that what you told him? Fred said, his voice getting out. Manny's expression changed, sad and happy at once, it seemed. I didn't know what to tell him. That's why I had to go join the monks. Fries? Fred waved the proffered basket away. Placing it in front of himself, Manny tucked a napkin into his sweatshirt, bent his head, and began to eat. Methodically, one by one, he conveyed the fries to their destination. He didn't rush or overfill his mouth, but made rapid progress nonetheless, without a wasted movement or lapse of attention. A mesmerizing calm, the first gentle breezes of a stupor, perhaps, descended upon Fred as he watched. In 2 minutes, the basket was empty, and Manny looked up. Swallow the mood, Fred. Become mood. Figure it out, okay? How? Fred could barely mouth a question. Manny took in a deep breath, fixed Fred with a fiery stare, and pursing his lips, whispered in a long exhalation, As Manfred blew around him, Fred could see the unearthly glare from the helmet session coming back, lighting up the margarita tank, the party lights, the salt-rimmed glasses, the laughing, flirting, gabbing crowd, all of it already gone, here forever, both at once. Do it, Manny said. Fred blinked. The glare had vanished. Go ahead, Manny coaxed. Fred whispered. Yeah. That's it. Just keep doing that inside your head. For how long? Manny considered. That depends. On what? On how long it takes. Will you do that? Fred considered. I doubt it. He could dive into the margarita mixer, he thought. He whirled to a pulp. They have a saying, if there is doubt, doubt hard. Doubt hard? Manny nodded, eyes electric again. Doubt coming and doubt going. Only when the ball of doubt has been smashed. He slammed his palm down, sending Fred's drink sloshing once more. Can great faith arise? I'll stop there. Thank you.
Shakar, everybody. I want to thank all our readers tonight. Samantha Irby, Ian Walton, Kristen Lukey, Jennifer Schaefer. We're going to be back here August 7th, so mark your calendars. Thank you for coming to Tuesday Funk tonight, and have a good evening.